Hari Om, Namaskaram to all. Today in services marketing class, we will discuss few things about characteristics of services. In the end of the session, students can able to find what exactly are the characteristics of services, how are services different from a product. To study the characteristics of services, it is indeed to know about goods. Students, do you know or do you have an idea about what is a goods? Goods is an object people want. They can touch or hold. Goods are items you buy such as food, clothing, toys, furniture, toothpaste, etc. Services are act or performance that one party offer to another that is totally intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Example for services are given in the screen. Services are actions such as haircut and car repair which also satisfy people's wants. Here is an activity and assignment for you. Create a collage representing goods and services that your families consume. If do you have any doubt, please text in the comment box in the Google Classroom. Services. Now you know what is a service. Service is a transaction in which no physical goods are transferred from the seller to the buyer. Characteristics of services. In general, we have 5 different characteristics. They are lack of ownership, intangibility, inseparability, perishability, and heterogeneity. Lack of ownership. Lack of ownership refers to the fact that you cannot own and store a service like a product. Services are used or hired for a period of time. Imagine your mommy is traveling to USA with 25 kgs of onion. After reaching USA, she can own and store the onion. Can she able to store and own the service provided by the airlines? No, it is impossible to own and store a service. With the help of example, you can able to differentiate which is goods and which is a service. In this situation, onion is a goods and air ticket is a service. So you can own and store onion, but it is impossible to store and own the air tickets which you have used earlier. Intangibility in services. Service intangibility means that services cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard or smelled before they bought. Imagine you're going to mall to buy Samsung LED TV. You can measure the size of the product. You can see how TV's color. You can touch the TV and see, and you can check whether it is running properly. But in the same day, in the same mall, you have booked an appointment with the doctor for surgery. It is impossible to be served exactly how you will feel after the surgery. You could feel like a new person after the surgery, or you might be in a worsened stage after the surgery. That's the basic difference between goods and services with regards to intangibility in services. Inseparability in services. Services are produced and consumed at the same time. Services cannot be separated from the service provider. Physical goods are produced, then stored, later sold, and even later consumed. Here you are seeing your favorite iPhone on the screen. It is a it is produced in China and sold in some other country. Here, since it is a goods, you can able to separate the goods, but it is not possible in case of service. For example, taxi operator drives taxi and the passenger uses it. The presence of taxi driver is essential to provide the taxi service. Here, to avail taxi service, you cannot separate taxi from the taxi driver. Perishability in services. Goods are imperishable in nature. They can stored for the future use. Here in the screen, you are seeing few examples of tinned item that you can store and use for the future. In case of services, it lasts for a specific time and cannot be stored like a product for later use. For example, you are getting a haircut from a barber. The service of barber will only last for one time. You cannot store the service of barber for future or next month. Heterogeneity in services. Heterogeneity here refers to variability. It varies from, that is, taste varies from customer to customer. It is very difficult to standardize the service. But in case of goods, it is homogeneous in nature. For example, you are buying a Complan packet in Karur, the same Complan packet you can buy in Chennai. We shall see few examples of heterogeneity in service. Heterogeneity means we already know that is variability. That is, the taste and preference will varies from customer to customer. We shall see the situation with regards to taxi driver. A taxi driver cannot drive you to the office in the exactly the same time each day because the traffic pattern change. Another example, a travel agent can sell you a vacation package but cannot guarantee you will like the trip exactly the same way another tourist did. Check yourself. What is a service? Can you able to remember few characteristics of service? Do you able to find basic difference between goods and service? Can you able to list few examples, live examples of goods and services on your own? Do you agree all goods are imperishable in nature? No or yes? If yes, why? If no, why? Please check yourself. Hope you can understand the characteristics of service and you can able to find the basic difference between goods and service.